Hello and welcome to Sovereign Financials, financial education for everyone.
Hi guys, welcome back to Sovereign Financials. Today I want to talk about the gold shortage we're seeing and what's going on with gold prices. So as you are probably aware here at Sovereign Financials, we've talked about the importance of having physical gold as a part of your portfolio, as part of your hedge against inflationary monetary policy for quite a while. What that means is as the governments will end up printing a lot more money to deal with whatever kind of economic damage or financial problems that arise, their answer is to hit the print button, print more money that devalues the dollar or whatever other currency you have. And ways to protect yourself, like to be able to store your wealth outside of that system, being able to preserve your wealth and not let it be inflated away as governments print a bunch of money, is to own gold, and we also believe to own some Bitcoin. So we've been saying this for over a year now, and you can kind of see how this is happening. So now the whole coronavirus thing happens. Governments around the world are going to be printing trillions of dollars, or in whatever currency that they're currently printing, and then you end up seeing these big moves in like gold and Bitcoin that will probably end up playing a role as a hedge for these. But today we're gonna look at the gold price specifically. So first thing here is I wanted to bring up this graph of just the gold price. If you take a look here, this is over the past 5 years or so. You can see that gold's actually had like a pretty decent uptrend over the past 5 years, and I believe last year gold was up 20%, even though the stock market was up 30%. And usually you don't have that big of a rally of gold while stocks are doing so well. That kind of let us know that the market was already anticipating that something was going to happen in that regard. Just maybe just irresponsible monetary policy or inflation, and people wanted to protect their wealth by owning gold even though stocks were doing so well. So you can see it's had a nice uptrend. We kind of peaked out here in February, and then the problem is that when you end up having a market liquidation, so the stock market just starts plummeting, and what you have to do is people end up taking margin loans out before that happens, and they buy a bunch of stock on margin, and then as the stock market takes a big hit, they get margin called. The bank calls them up and says like, hey, you got to deposit more money, otherwise we're going to force you to sell your positions. And when that happens, people or investors or hedge funds, etc., they take their assets they own and they start selling other assets. And one of those ends up being gold. So if they have a bunch of gold, they take it, they sell it on the market, and it crashes the price of that. And the reason why they do that is to not get margin called on whatever stock positions they have. So we expected there to be an initial sell-off in gold, and then what usually happens, I mean, sometimes this takes months, but what happens after the initial sell-off is then that hard money, the hard asset, which in this case gold, would start rallying afterwards after the sell-off happens. And you can see that, starting here on March 23rd, like yesterday and today, we just started having this huge rally in gold. Now, the thing that I want to bring up here is physical gold to us is much more important than like gold ETFs or other paper promises for gold. The actual amount of physical gold in the world is limited, but the amount of paper promises for gold is not limited. There's a difference between an ETF having allocated gold, which means that it's only held or sold, if you would, to one person, whereas unallocated gold is you have 5 different people that have a claim on a single gold bar, which is why we're not a fan of gold ETFs. We rather own it physically. And as you can see, that around the world, it's actually very hard to get gold right now. So let's look at this article by Financial Times. It says gold bars in short supply due to coronavirus disruption. It says retail investors in Europe and the US have bought up gold and silver bars and coins over the past 2 weeks in an effort to protect their money from the collapse in global stock prices and many currencies. But Europe's largest gold refineries have struggled to keep up because of the region's widening shutdown. Rise of big coronavirus, refineries are shutting down, all the transportation's being shut down, they're not able to move gold, produce it, refine it, etc. A couple of the companies are all based in the Swiss region near the border of Italy, and they have announced in recent days the production in the area was to be temporarily halted. That's going to create a huge supply shock in terms of gold. At the same time, they were having a huge increase in demand. So retailers have already reported shortages and delays of up to 15 days on shipments. And this article, honestly, I think this was written yesterday, but we'll get to that in a minute, where a lot of retailers are completely out of gold. And even if they do, it's still 15-day delay in shipment after they actually obtain the gold. So demand is running demand is running at up to 5 times the normal daily amount. And this guy says we're being creative to find new sources, but what is driving it are all of the measures by authorities to stop coronavirus. This is a nice way of saying people are scared in terms of losing their wealth because so many governments out there are currently printing a bunch of money, and people are concerned this will lead to inflation and therefore devalue their currency. Basically, we're selling as soon as we get the stock on location in secure vaults, but we're restricted to what we can get a hold of, right? It's not being made, it's not being transported, and there's this huge surge in supply. What's also interesting is Bullion Star, a Singapore-based precious metals retailer, said it was paying a premium to buy back silver and gold coins from customers in an effort to replenish supplies. Right? I mean, these guys you can't get a hold in gold and silver right now. There's a disconnect between prices in the physical gold market and the prices you see on your screen, right? Because you can always print more paper promises for gold. You can't just create new actual physical gold quite as easily. So let's look at a couple websites here. So the first one is JM Bullion. I have no affiliation with any of these sites, first of all, but this is a site that we love to buy our physical gold from. If you look, they actually do have some of the smaller denominations of gold, the 1/10 ounce, pretty small, 1/4 and a half. So that's not too bad. I'm glad they have this. But with that being said, there's a shipping delay of 15 business days, so 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks, and it's 15 plus business days. So it'll take you a long time to get it. But more importantly, look at all the other stuff. So look at this. So out of stock, and these, I don't really buy these, like these proofs and special packages and stuff. But if you look at the quarter ounce random years out, half ounce random year, 1 ounce, it's complete. All these are out of stock, right? All these are out of stock. Like all these things are out of stock. If you go here to their 1 ounce American Gold Eagle, you can also see, which is interesting, is the spread, or sorry, the spot over price. The price over spot you're paying is also high, $85. This is as high as I saw at $95 yesterday. As gold gets more scarce, there's a higher premium to pay over what the actual paper price of gold is, and that's kind of going up. It's kind of the disconnect between the paper price of gold, like stock market gold or ETFs, etc., versus how hard it is to actually get physical gold. Same thing. Here's another website, goldsilver.com. So look at number one is their prices are a little bit higher. I mean, way higher than the current paper price, right? $1,852, when currently the paper price is only a little over $1,600. Just hard to get. What's even more important here, and it's not necessarily it's not in bold or anything, but estimated shipment date is June 25th. Let me zoom in on this for you guys here so you can take a look at this. June 25th is the estimated shipment date, right? We're talking about months to get your gold. And at the very top here, they say, due to a surge in demand, all products are back ordered up to 12 weeks. 3 months, and there's a temporary $1,000 delivery minimum. Let's look at another one, Provident Metals, another very prominent gold bullion dealer. They do have some of their smaller coins in, but all the other stuff is all out of stock. All out of stock. And come down here, the 1 ounce American Gold coin, out of stock. Out of stock. And kitco.com. I haven't bought from here myself. I know a lot of other people use this though. And once again, they have the 1/10 of an ounce in stock. Very small coin, very hard to stack. And then look at all these little blue ribbons here. All these other ones are all out of stock. They're 1 ounce, quarter ounce, half ounce, all out of stock. And one other one here, AmpX, another very popular one. They say their shipment delay is 3 business days, right? My guess is they probably haven't updated that in a couple of days. But even if that is true, they have some of their stuff marked as pre-sales. So March 27th, I'm guessing that's stuff that they're trying to get shipments in but haven't gotten it yet. Also look that their that their price of the gold coin of 1 ounce is $1,823, which is $200 over the paper spot price. Once again, just showing the disconnect right now between the paper price of gold and actually physical gold. And then, this one here, right? The half ounce is out of stock. All these alert me's out of stock, 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 out of stock. All these out of stock. Everything is almost out of stock. Look at all these, right? So anyways, my point here is look, it's getting kind of hard to get gold. If you can still get some, I mean, if you're a subscriber, hopefully you already have some. If you have not gotten any yet, you still recommend trying to get some when you can. Hopefully, they'll get some more in stock, and there'll be a second wave. You'll be able to buy some more gold. We think it is important to have physical gold, especially as all these countries are printing a bunch of money, which will likely devalue their currencies. The other option that we also believe is easier, to move and manage and hold and all that is Bitcoin. We think Bitcoin's gonna play a big role here. But yeah, I mean, a lot of other people, a lot of rich people right now are currently protecting their wealth by owning physical gold coins. There's also, there's a post somewhere where somebody was trying to potentially, supposedly order 10,000 1 ounce gold maples, right? Like millions and millions of dollars, like $15 million worth of gold coins. If the rich are trying to store their wealth in gold and they see some badness coming from all the money printing that the government's doing, maybe it's a good idea for you to protect your wealth as well somehow. Alright guys, let us know what you think about the videos. Leave your comments below. If you're not a subscriber to at least the YouTube channel, please hit subscribe, hit the like button. We really appreciate the follows. If you post comments below, we'll respond to them. Thanks so much guys. Talk to you later. Bye.